Oh, another good movie. You seen Captain Fantastic?
Mm-mm.
Have you heard about it?
Mm-mm.
So it's a movie about it's Viggo Mortensen is the main character, and he has 4 kids. They live in the woods, away from civilization, their whole lives, and his wife dies, and they're kind of raised as survivalists, but at the same time they're brilliant. And the rest of the movie was like the kids like trying to go against everything that they've been taught to like live in civilization, and the dad being resistant to that. But when they go into civilization, yeah, they're like socially inept in some way, but like the lessons that dad and mom taught were like amazing. It's a really good movie. It's on Netflix.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
No, I will check that out. You know, that's the rub because you send them in civilization, and civilization's a little broken right now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the kids that they're going to meet are going to end up with drug habits. Like, not to be like that, but it's just,
Yeah.
you know, what do you do once they turn like 13?
I don't know. And especially where we live, you know, legalization of a lot of things. I predict in the future more drugs will be legalized. When regulated and monitored, I think is something that's good. But when unregulated and unmonitored, it can be potentially dangerous. So we're going to have kids potentially in this environment. So exposing them early with us and kind of helping them to process everything is better than not knowing what's going on and just trying it and then hiding it from you.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we were young, this was just after DARE.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, all drugs are bad. But then once kids realize that marijuana isn't so bad, then they don't believe you on heroin and crack either.
Yep.
So you have to tell them exactly the truth. Like, beer is whatever, hard liquor, maybe you want to hold off on that until you're 25.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do, you know, in Europe, you know, beer and wine, whatever. And then weed is whatever. Don't go near heroin. For any reason whatsoever, don't go near heroin.
Yeah.
But you have to, you can't say all drugs are bad because they're going to see through that and they're going to think you're lying.
Exactly. And especially DARE taught us that marijuana is the gateway one. Like, it's the worst of the worst because it leads to everything else. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not at all.
Where's the evidence for that?
Yeah.
Like,
propaganda.
It is because it was illegal. And so if you're willing to do one illegal thing, you're probably more likely to do other illegal things. Yeah. But it wasn't it's not a gateway. It's certainly not. And beer would be more of a gateway, or cigarettes.
Exactly.
Cigarettes that's the one they start when they're like 8 years old. I remember some bad kids around us, you know, they started on cigarettes when they were young, and then it moved to beer, and then
it can lead to like a lot of brain damage, inattention, irritability, aggressiveness, all these things that, you know, a lot of people talk about nicotine withdrawal or nicotine intoxication, but like it's like the most habit forming drug out of all the drugs, nicotine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about it. They have a whole big lobbyist industry and everything else. So of course, you know, they made it on this side and they're talking about drugs bad on that side, just like alcohol. I'd argue they're all equally bad. Besides marijuana. And psychedelics. Stuff like that.
Yeah. The nicotine, I wonder, is that dangerous in and of itself, or is it because it's smoked?
Because you can chew it and everything else, so it's equally bad.
Is it?
I just think my personal belief is nicotine is just so addictive. It's just addictive and habit forming, and then with that comes the negative effects of nicotine. So simply because of that, I'd say it's fairly dangerous. My opinion, doing it too much.
You know, Tony has a
nicotine. Because it directly leads to
nicotine.
cancer. I mean,
The nicotine itself leads to cancer?
I mean, like smoking.
Smoking. But the toothpicks that Tony has?
Oh yeah, I remember
those are all nicotine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't done research into those things, but I remember that was cool. It was like cinnamon or something.
It's cinnamon, and it's supposed to give you like a little buzz. It does make you a little bit more alert.
Yeah.
But the thing was, he would chew them up, and then the dog would get them because he would throw them in the trash.
Oh.
And I think the dog was... Can dogs get addicted to nicotine?
Anyone probably could. I don't know. Probably. I would say yes.
Well, we had to put it in the big trash with the lid because he was going through and he was getting the nicotine toothpicks.
So he was deliberately going for them?
Yeah, he was chewing them up, and then we'd find him and be like, oh, what is going on here?
Yeah. Nicotine, man. You made Doyle
He's a little tiny
a
dog.
little cigarette addict. So whenever someone smokes outside, it's just like jumping up, wagging his tail.
Well, I don't know if he knew what it was, because he was just like, oh, this smells like Tony, you know? And Tony's there, probably a full-on nicotine addict by this point, because he goes through a pack a day. Hey, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's possible. I don't know. I haven't researched, so I can't really comment on it, but I just know about nicotine. It's
supposed to be a hack. Those toothpicks are supposed to be like a mind hack to make you think a little bit faster.
You think it's like a placenta? It's a placenta.
Placebo, because you're on baby mode. You're on baby
I know. I was
mode.
like, what? Even when I said, I'm like, what? Placebo?
Yeah, I don't think it's placebo because I've taken the toothpicks and I'm like, well, this is different. It's just like having a little bit too much coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of gets you like here, and it kind of gets you like
Kind of jittery.
Yeah, a little bit.
Even caffeine is kind of like amphetamines essentially. They're all like in the same family, just a little bit different chemical structure. Caffeine, amphetamines, meth, all those things, cocaine, they're all in the same families. Stimulants.
This is what we came to talk about today.
Oh.
Is methamphetamines.
Okay, good segue.
Yeah. Okay, I drink a pot of coffee a day, but I'm still better than all the meth heads out here, right?
No.
No? Yes?
I mean, I'm not a coffee drinker or tea or anything like that. I mean, in moderation with everything and in small doses. If you said a pot of coffee a day?
A French press.
Okay. So it's a little about that big?
It's 3 cups.
Okay. I would just try to cut down, my personal opinion. Just too much of anything is bad for you. Too much water is bad. But specifically with caffeine, just increasing your risk of like high blood pressure and just like increasing like the vasoconstriction in your body, and then just it being habit forming. Anything that forms a habit, I really kind of advise it against. That could be anything, video games, whatever, anything.
That's interesting.
I know I'm addicted to video games, so I'm speaking from personal experience.
Exercise forms a habit.
True.
That's
and it can
good.
lead to disorders like body dysmorphia, stuff like that.
Oh, come
It could.
on.
It
Come
could.
on. Don't
It
give me
could.
that. Don't
Anorexia,
give me that.
bulimia, it could.
I did this whole video about
It
the
could.
Diet Coach app
Mm-hmm.
that they tried to make less problematic. They took my app away and
Yeah.
they made it like sanitized it. And I was like, give me my problematic app back.
What does the app do?
It's supposed to. Used to have a little avatar,
Mm-hmm.
and it would show you how you're looking, and you could dress your avatar, and it would tell you if you ate too much, and it would give you reminders of, hey, go exercise and stuff like this. And everyone was like, oh, this app is problematic, blah blah blah. And then they took it away. But everybody who liked the problematic stuff, they were like, hey, where's our app? You know. But
So, I mean, you're probably in the category where you don't kind of fulfill the criteria of one of those disorders, but in the wrong hands, it can be kind of enabling, or, you know, your desired goal is 100 pounds. You know, today you're 130 and you look like this. You should exercise for, I'm simplifying the app. I have no idea what the app does, but someone like that, I would be cautious. But in controlled hands such as yours, I wish you had your app back.
it wouldn't let you log more than 3 workout sessions a day.
Oh.
It was like,
That's
you've
interesting.
worked out 3 times. That's enough. You can work out more, but you're not going to get any more points for it. So it would let you log it for the calories, but it wouldn't give you points towards your goal.
So do you get points or goals for the appearance part of it too? Like you said? Like, you put your avatar on how you look?
You could pick your avatar.
Okay, but like as far as how you look, are they like commenting on like your body fat or anything like that?
No, they wouldn't say anything bad. They would just have your goals, and sometimes there would be glitches, and it would show you like Fat Maya avatar. And I'm like, I was never Fat Maya avatar. I just thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because I'm a different type of person. You know, there's more sensitive people, and then there's less sensitive people.
Okay.
So I think for the less sensitive people, it was a problem because they do get addicted to exercise, and they do get addicted to cutting calories.
Mm-hmm.
But for less sensitive people, they're just like, hey, let's have fun, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So you're telling me I can't have coffee, I can't have my app, I shouldn't exercise so much.
You can have it. This is America. You can have whatever you want. This is
you.
America.
It's America.
I'm just as a physician, it's my job to just say this is what I recommend. I need to heed my own advice a lot of times, but just knowing what these things could do and what they could potentially lead to, just warnings. But if you're good and you're cool, you're monitoring it, go nuts.
So I know you study abnormal people, abnormal psychology. So abnormal.
Yeah, quotes, but yeah.
Yeah. So how many people do you think take it too far with the coffee, with the exercise, with these things, nicotine?
As far as how many, I mean, a lot of Americans do. I would probably say even less if I had to say it, because a lot of people are home. They're not doing the commutes. They're not doing all the early morning grind, you know, either unemployed or they're working from home. So I would say the consumption's gone down compared to pre-COVID. But if COVID wasn't here, yeah, a lot of people would consume I would say overconsume. Starbucks was like so profitable, and all these other coffee chain places are like every block now. When we were kids, like
That's
they weren't that
milkshakes.
prevalent.
Half of those people are leaving Starbucks with milkshakes, which I'm not going to judge because I like my sugar too. But come on.
There's a lot of frappuccinos. There's a lot of all the other stuff because I don't drink coffee, so there's a lot of this other stuff. Some people are using milkshakes or drinking milkshakes, but a lot of people now. Let me get the double shot of so and so. It's in 7-Eleven, double shot, espresso,
I'm
cold,
not gonna.
ice brew,
Yeah, okay,
frappe.
the ice brew.
Just
Yeah.
throwing out words. I don't know what any of that means.
I like the taste of coffee. And here's the thing: is that when we were little, they used to give us coffee milk in school.
Mm-hmm.
So we got
Coffee milk,
yeah,
like creamer or coffee milk.
like have chocolate milk and
Yeah.
strawberry milk. We had coffee milk.
Ugh.
When
What?
we were like little kids.
Where was this?
This is in Rhode Island. And I didn't realize that outside of Rhode Island, kids don't get coffee milk.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, we get coffee milk.
Oh my gosh.
Because you got to stay awake. You got to do your work.
That's
Isn't a game?
You're just giving caffeine to kids? How old were you when this started?
From like elementary school. So
What?
from like kindergarten on, we had coffee milk.
Can I Google this real quick?
Yeah, look it up. Autocrat coffee milk. And you can get the syrup so you can put it on your ice cream. It's just like chocolate syrup, except it's coffee.
What? Coffee syrup?
Yeah,
That sounds... And that was good to you?
it's delicious.
I don't know about that. Did you have like a coffee lobbyist as a superintendent?
This is only a Rhode Island thing. It's only a Rhode Island and Southern Mass thing because you got to be within
I've never seen this before in my life or heard about this.
coffee.
Coffee time? Like something
Coffee.
like that?
We like the autocrat
You
coffee
really?
time.
Have you heard of this before?
You put it in your milk. You put it on your ice cream.
I ain't never heard of that.
So you have more coffee. You give it to the children.
Is this what? It's like a big gallon of syrup?
Yeah,
that
it's a big
just
gallon. Give it to the
And
kids.
you put it in the milk? Or is it like
Yeah.
you drink it like that? Like
you put it in the milk, like it's chocolate syrup, like Hershey syrup. It got a little bit of caffeine in it.
I've seen pictures like that. What?
Yeah. See, they love each other.
Well, I can't really knock it because I've never tried it, but it just sounds disgusting. I'm sorry.
This is the land of Dunkin'. I think Dunkin'. It's like a Dunkin' lobby with the schools, and
Yeah.
they're like, get these kids addicted to coffee as soon as possible.
Get the donuts. Put the donuts next to the coffee milk.
No, and then
We'll tag team them.
if you get a Dunkin', the Dunkin' way,
Mhm.
it's like a bunch of cream and a bunch of sugar. That's what I used to get. I don't drink it like that anymore. But it's basically coffee milk. It's the same thing.
Oh,
So if you get,
That's true.
give me a Dunkin' coffee, the Dunkin' way, they'll give it to you as a coffee milk.
so they hook you young.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
Oh, that's.
Is
try
it anywhere besides Rhode Island?
No.
Okay.
And Rhode Island is the smallest state.
Yeah.
So leaving Rhode Island, I was like, so where's the coffee milk? Where's the autocrat? And people were like, what are you talking about?
The autocrat. I'm sorry. That's funny.
Hey,
Hey, you
it's-
can corner the coffee milk market out here if you brought it back.
yeah. You know what? I know these kids out here.
You don't want to give them more coffee?
Well, they're just going to be at their computer. They're not even running around.
True.
So I wouldn't I wouldn't mess with anybody's child out here. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how they raise them. I don't mess with anybody else's kid.
Because the thing is, a lot of the solutions are here. You live in California. Please go to a beach. Please go on hikes. Please exercise. Here's all these outlets. Here's all these options of things you can do. Blah, blah, blah. And medications, obviously. But yeah, it's liberal. We have the tools out here. I don't know. I just wouldn't do coffee, like you said, to kids.
I looking back, I would not give elementary school kids a bunch of coffee at lunch because then their parents are like, how am I supposed to get these kids to sleep?
Yeah. And don't you have you didn't have nap time in elementary?
No.
Well, not elementary. I meant kindergarten.
Oh, yeah, kindergarten. We
Okay.
have that time.
Did you have coffee milk in kindergarten?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But I was in Attleboro, Massachusetts for
Okay.
kindergarten, so they might not have done that. And that's just over the border, though, so I'm not really sure.
Gotcha.
Wait, so how close is coffee to amphetamines?
Well, they both contain neurotransmitter norepinephrine, noradrenaline, and that's controlled of like your fight or flight response. So they both help with that stimulation, attention, alertness, hyperarousal, stuff like that, things that coffee does. But meth, what it does, basically, it releases a lot of those neurotransmitters, so norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine. Dopamine's your mood hormone. Serotonin's your mood hormone. Dopamine's like your pleasure hormone, and then norepinephrine, what I just talked about. It gets released, but it also, at higher doses, blocks the reuptake of the synapses where it gets released. So basically, cocaine, if I were to compare cocaine and meth, cocaine releases blocks the reuptake of these neurotransmitters, the same ones. Meth releases and blocks. So cocaine works, it gives an effect for a short amount of time. Meth lasts longer because you're releasing it and you're blocking the reuptake, so it stays in the middle and stays having its effect. Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense. Okay.
So cocaine, it's not in charge of pushing anything out. It basically blocks the doors. Whenever you're releasing neurotransmitters, they come in like things called vesicles. So it releases norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. And then the vesicles come back into the thing that it's released. When I'm saying the thing, I'm talking about the nerves. So it gets specifically the presynaptive area gets released into the synapse, and then it has an effect at the postsynapse, the next nerve. So cocaine just blocks the door, doesn't allow those vesicles to come in, and it just leaves these neurotransmitters to do their thing. Meth pushes them out and closes the door. So not only does it stimulate these effects that we're talking about, but it also blocks the reuptake, meaning it has a longer effect compared to cocaine that just blocks the door. So cocaine in theory is more potent, but meth just has a longer lasting effect.
Because when I see people do cocaine, they seem okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, like, because it's so short acting, it works. It has that immediate effect, like, oh, this feels good. I have all these, I'm feeling good. I'm euphoric. I'm having pleasure, so I want to do pleasurable activities. A lot of people do sex with it. I said do sex. Have sex on it. Do pleasurable things, and I have all this energy, so I'm going to keep doing it for a while. And then after a few hours, it kind of goes away. Whereas meth, you have the same effects, but then it's like, okay, this has been going on for a number of hours, and okay, it's lasting longer, so I need to take more to have the desired effect that cocaine has. So not only are you having the damages potentially of doing meth chronically, but since it's so less potent compared to cocaine, you need more of it to have that cocaine effect.
And so how does crack cocaine compare to powder cocaine?
It's just the way it's like made. So like crack has like baking soda and other elements in it compared to cocaine, which is just pure from the specific cacao plant. So they both are the same, but just crack is more like, to say stepped on, more diluted. But it's the same thing.
It acts on the body the same way.
Same way. So like the only difference is, where it was distributed and punishments associated with those things. And that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing.
If it's the same, it's the same.
Yeah. Same thing, heroin, opiate crisis. Also another topic, sorry.
That's messy. There was, we'll handle this on another day, but there's a really good documentary on HBO about how they did that and how they orchestrated that. Like, it's definitely a conspiracy.
Yeah.
What they did, like in the late 90s, to get the public addicted to cocaine, I cannot believe that's legal. And they made like music videos of themselves like dancing around talking about how they're going to get everyone addicted to Oxycontin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's so messed up. It's funny, but it's like all these upper middle class white people are conspiring to get everybody on these pills.
Yeah.
I don't know, funny, haha. It's like a different kind of funny. It's like funny, wow, that blew up in our face kind of funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, check that out on HBO.
Okay. I'll check it out. I think I know what you're talking about. I just don't know the name of it.
It's like a crime documentary, but nobody paid for any crimes, so.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so this started because I sent you a video of a lady who's on methamphetamines.
Yeah.
And if you're in LA, you can't not see people on methamphetamines because they're just on the corner like doing their dance, tweakers.
Yeah.
Why are they tweaking?
So it's a combination of things. So energy, pleasure, euphoria. So when you're on meth, you have like this high amount of energy, so you feel like you have to get it out in some way. It makes you feel euphoric. So if you're in a dysphoric situation, I would do meth if I was in a situation of a lot of people who are homeless out here without the support and don't want to feel this way, feeling down, depressed, things like that. So combination of all those things and the fact that they're tweaking, part of that could be some kind of like high energetic psychosis or mania, because meth is associated with the development of these disorders. And so, because when you're having these things, that's why our medications are anti-dopamine or blocking those things. So in order to control the psychosis or the mania, things like that. So the tweaking is just like disorganized behavior, possibly responding to internal stimuli, meaning like delusional thoughts or hallucinations. And so that's just a reflection of that.
And the meth causes the hallucinations?
If it just depends. So certain people, just like they're susceptible to certain things, it goes down to a multitude of things, your genetics, your trauma history, whatever. So if you're intoxicated with meth, some people can do one hit of meth and then it's like, yeah, they're psychotic. Some people can do multiple hits. When I say hits, like smoking or injecting an IV, whatever. They can do multiple hits and then they'd be fine. So it just depends on that person. So when you're acutely intoxicated and you're also susceptible, then it can lead to mania. Then it can lead to psychosis until the drug washes out of your system. And then you can, quote unquote, go back to normal. But some people, they pass like a threshold and then it's like you're just stuck. And now the disorder that you were genetically predisposed to having, such as schizophrenia, bipolar anxiety, whatever, is now here to stay without kind of being suppressed.
And they can't dial it back from there?
Can dial it back in some people.